Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI dashboard related tutorial on our channel. In this part you are learning about how to create a bike buyer's exploratory data analysis. So this is a data of around 1000 customers, and it is given that how many of them have bought bikes and how many of them have not. So this is their purchase bike, yes or no. And on the basis of different other parameters like their education, their age bracket, how many cars they have, income wise purchase behavior, their home ownership status, number of children they have, their gender, their marital status, their occupation, and region in which they are, we will be able to see the ratio of purchase yes and purchase no, like in which particular group the number of people who have purchased a bike is more, in which particular cases it is less. All of this will be taught with some exploratory data analysis insights in this tutorial. So let's get started with it and start learning and creating this simple dashboard for analysis with these filters. So the dataset that we are trying to analyze today is called bike bias dataset. This dataset can be obtained from Kaggle website. The dataset has detail of 1000 users from different backgrounds and whether or not they buy a bike. And it is suitable for building prediction models and using machine learning algorithms. So the columns are ID, unique identifier for each individual here, marital status, whether the person is married or not. So in the original data set, it is given as M and S. So M for married, S for single. So we can simply replace the value by pressing Control F. So find M and replace with married and replace all, and simply do the same for gender. So gender is also given as F or M here. So we can replace the values. Age is given as a continuous variable, and some age brackets are created in the data set. So for example, if the value of age, L2 means simply age value. If L2 is greater than 54, then call old. If L2 is greater than 31, middle age. If L2 is less than 31, adolescent, otherwise invalid. So that's how, wherever it is, between 31 and 42, you will be between 31 and 54, right? You will see that all of them are called as middle age, above 54 old, and below 31 26. So this way these age brackets are created. The whole purpose of this particular data is to analyze the effect of different type of input variables here, the effect of marital status, gender, income of that person, number of children they have, education, occupation, home ownership status, if they have cars, if their commute distance is more or less, region, Europe region, Pacific region, their age. So all of them, do they affect purchased bike decision? So we have to check whether they have purchased the bike, yes or no. And that is the simple purpose of this total data set, to find out effect of different input variables on a target variable or the output variable here. And using different BI tools, we will simply try to analyze that. To analyze the data, just open Power BI, and in Power BI simply connect the data. It's an Excel workbook, so we'll use the Excel workbook connector here. We will simply connect the file. Make sure all the columns, so your sheet 1 is the sheet which has data. Make sure all the columns are mapped with their values and column names are appearing properly. We will simply load it, and it will appear as sheet 1. We will simply rename it to bike buyers. Now, first of all, whenever we are trying to create an analysis dashboard, so we simply have to add a text box here telling our viewers what we are going to build. Okay, so here we will simply write our title. After writing your text, simply make it bold, align it to center or you know anywhere you want. And we also can increase or decrease indent accordingly. Press enter and let's increase its size to around 32. So that we have that. And now we can simply invert the colors here, or we'll just use a darker color in the background. So we'll simply connect it, go to effects, in background color we will simply use a dark shade, and color that we are going to use is 1A2A49. So we'll simply use this color, and now we will start creating some visuals here. So in such data sets, we have to see the effect of different variables on our output variable. So whether or not they purchase bike or not. So first of all, we will see how many people have purchased bike and how many of them have not. So we will use a donut chart here. And before doing anything, I will simply go to view and customize current theme, page background. I will select a very light background for my page, and transparency I will choose as probably 4%, apply, so that our charts are visual. Charts and visual will have a background here. Now here in a donut chart, in legend you can bring the categorical variable. The categorical variable for us is purchased by, so it will give us yes or no, and values that you have to bring is number of count of IDs. Every ID here is bike bias ID, unique value. So here we will bring count of ID, and you can also do count distinct, but in this case since everything is distinct, so this is our output here, which is telling us that 51.9% people have not purchased a bike, and 48.1% of people have. So this is what you will get, and this is simply purchased bike. Okay, and you can simply align it to center and make it bold. So this is purchased bike for us. Now we can use different type of filters to see its effect, and this gives an idea that what is the ratio of someone who has purchased bike here. Next, we also have different educational groups here. For example, we have people with graduate degree, high school, partial college, partial high school, etc. So here we have different values. So we will use a stacked column chart here. So we will simply create a stacked column chart, and in a stacked column chart we will simply choose the same height because number of values are more here. So on x-axis we will bring the categorical value, that is education, and on y-axis we are going to bring count of ID, that means number of people in each educational group. First I will simply copy this and copy its styling to here, and now we will use a legend value here. The legend will be purchase bike or not. So you will see effect here. So now you can see in different groups what is the ratio of yes to no. If you want to see it more clearly, you can also select a clustered column chart. So this will give you a better idea. So for example, in case of bachelors, those who have purchased a bike is more than who have not purchased. But in case of partial college, you can see the percentage of no is more. Similarly, graduate degree it is more, and partial high school it is less. So you can see in different educational groups which group has more probability of buying a bike, right? So this variable affects our output variable, and that's why we have to consider it properly. This is count of ID. So we will select the chart, and instead of count by ID, so we will simply write buyers buy, you know, so we will simply write it buyers only. Y will automatically be added. So this is our simple chart, buyers by education and purchase by. Next, if you remember from the dataset introduction, so what we did, we created three different age brackets from age condition. Okay, so if age was more than 54, in that case, those people were called as old, otherwise middle age, and there was a setting for adolescent also. So on the basis of this, we can also see the distribution of these people and their decision of buying a bike. So we have a simple clustered bar chart here. In clustered bar chart, on y-axis, we will bring age brackets. On x-axis, we will again bring the count of people in that age bracket. So you can see how many of them are middle, old, or adolescent age. And now we will simply bring legend here. So this will also create the same type of effect here. It is just vertical, and we will, in legend, we will bring simple whether or not they purchase bike. So here you can see for different cases. And first we will adjust the title. So this is our age bracket wise purchase. In this also you can see, in case of middle age, we can see more yes are there. In case of old age, more no's are there, and similarly in adolescent. So the best type of group for us to target the customers will be middle aged people, because there we have the most number of people buying a bike, or which is our output here. Next is, these people also have cars. So the car number is between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can simply consider it as a data to compare. So here we will again use the same graph that we have used here. And here, instead of education, we will simply bring cars. And now you can see in different groups, and buyers buy cars and purchase by. So here you can see buyers who don't have car. In this case, uh, the percentage of buyers with yes is more. In case of one car is also there, but in all three other cases, if they have two cars, three or four cars, then the number of people buying a bike or preferring a bike is less. We can see this is also an important variable for us. Now we will simply adjust the width of these charts so that we can arrange them properly. Next, we also have their income, right? So obviously on the basis of different income groups, will their buying a bike behavior change? Because it may be a case that people who have higher income, they may prefer a car, or people with you know income in the middle income group, they will prefer a bike. So let's see. For that, first of all, we will see how the income is distributed. For that, we will use a stacked column chart, or we can also use the cluster column chart. Here we are going to use a stacked one. And in a stack column chart, first I will make the width and height almost similar to its top neighbor. In x-axis, we will first bring income and see how many different income groups do we have. On y-axis, we will just bring ID, count of ID. So here you can see in different income groups, we have different type of people, like in 50k income, 40k income, 30k. So it has already divided that, and there are people with 150k and above. And here in legend, we will simply bring the buying behavior. We don't have to create other groups because this is sufficient to analyze. And here we will simply bring purchase bike as legend here, and you will see no versus yes ratio here. So you can see, for example, people with less income. In this case, no is more. People with income in 40K, here yes is 90, no is 64. Okay, so here we can see this is a group. This is a group where yes is more. This is also a group where yes is 66 and no is more. So you can see which age group are preferring bike, right? And from this also it is clear that this is an important variable for us to consider. We will simply copy the format here. Now after seeing the effect of you know income on purchase, so first we will write. So we can see which income groups are more suitable for us, our audience. Next, another variable is home ownership. So in case of home ownership, let's say we go with a tree map first, not this. So for categorical values, we can always use a tree map also. In tree map, first we will drag a category like, so it will give us home ownership, yes or no. In details, we will use, so here you can see a simple graph where category is homeowner, details is purchase bike, and value is count of ID. From here we can see the dark blue color is yes. In case of yes, no, the purchase bike no, right? Purchase bike no is 358, purchase bike yes is 325. In case of home ownership, yes. In case of home ownership, no, the values are lower. So this way you can simply tell those people who have a home, they are more likely to buy a bike also. And in that case also we can see home ownership yes and purchase bike no is 358. So the yes that we are looking for is in less ratio in case of home ownership, but this particular categorical variable do have an effect on bike purchasing behavior. So we can simply copy the titles from here, and you can simply copy the styling and put them here. You can use any other type of graph also, and here you can simply enable legend so that we can see this, that this blue and this yellow is home ownership yes and no. For this type of chart we can also select a clustered chart here. So this clustered chart will also help us in visualizing the data, and if you think this is giving you a better you know explanation of yes no, purchase bike yes no, and home ownership yes no, so you can keep this as well. Similarly, we can also see gender wise distribution of people who have purchased bike yes or no. So in that case, first of all you can go to gender. You can drag gender in legend here. This will be female and male. In value we will bring count of ID. So we will first of all see the ratio, and in this ratio we can see 51% are male, and then we will draw a simple line here which will divide these sections into yes and no. So in details we will simply drag purchase, and you can see, so here you can see 242, which is count of ID for purchase bike yes, gender male. Okay, this is no. So in case 26%. So in total, out of female you can say total number of female who have purchased bike is 23.9, and total number of male who have purchased bike is 24.2. So this way you can see the data for different type of distributions here. If you will click on this chart, in the chart in visual setting, in format your visual, if you drag down here you can change the slices if you want, slice colors. But here we have data label on or off. Okay, so in data label we can, what we can do, we will simply go here, and here we will select category. So now you can see data like yes and no, and you can see the percentage of yes and no here. Yes is 24, no is 26, right? So you can see the ratio also, and you can also select category data value. So like now you will have a more detailed view. Yes is 242, no is 2, 69 in case of male. Yes is 239, no is 250 in case of female. So this is also a way to visualize your data with three different type of values. We have gender, which is categorical, we have purchase by, which is categorical, and we have count of ID, which is numerical. Additionally, if you want to make your visuals better, you can add some images here also by going into insert and selecting image. I have downloaded an image from Canva. This is a simple image that I can use anywhere. This is bike bias, and first of all I am going to put it here, and later I will see which position suits it, but this is something that you can use for your charts. Make sure your images are transparent if you want to use them properly over other type of visuals and your headings. Similarly, we can also see children wise, like if people have more children, will that affect their decision of buying a bike here? So for two numerical values, we can also create a scatter chart. I'm just giving you an option here, but here the values that we have to compare are categorical values, right? So in such cases, that's why we are preferring only these type of charts. So we will make a simple copy of this chart. Here we have less options only. So we will again create a chart, clustered chart here, which is a clustered bar chart. Instead of age bracket, we will use number of children. And here you can see for different cases, like people who have 0 children, their ratio is almost similar. In case of 2 children, no is more. So in case of 5 children, 4 children, no is more. 3 children, yes is more. And in case of 0 children, yes is more. So obviously here we cannot draw a straight calculation that if number of children are increasing or decreasing is no or yes increasing or decreasing. But yes, this is something that we can use to predict the values. So this is an important variable for us, and we will just change the title because this is children count wise purchase behavior. We will write behavior later. Similarly, we have marital status and occupation also. So let's drag it for occupation or marital status. First, let's see, in case of occupation, we have 4 or 5 different values. In marital status, we have either married or single, right? So here we will simply use marital status because this will help us in predicting, and other things will remain the same. Now, if marital status is married, so you can see in the data set we have more married people values, and in case of married, no, it is 30%, 307, and yes, it is 231. So people who are married, we have this value of 231. And single, let's select single only. In case of single, you can see the ratio of yes is more, right? So from here we can draw a conclusion simple that if people are married, then in that case no is more. If people are single, in that case yes is more as a bike purchasing behavior. So this is something that we can conclude from this. Similarly, we also have occupation. So for different occupation, we will again use this chart. And this is not gender, but this is marital status, purchase by, and this is our buyers by education. So first of all, we will replace education by occupation. So this is buyers by occupation and purchase by. And let's do one thing. First, let's align it like this. So you can see professional So yes is more in case of professional education. So only this group is where uh, people having professional occupation have purchased bike. In other cases, the ratio is less, right? Obviously, they have purchased bike, but the ratio, if we are comparing purchase bike, yes, no, in for by different professions, so we can see that this will be our preferred group, and then clerical. So we can see one such occupation group, which is in our target audience set, and finally we have region. So again, first we will select any type of chart. So in region we will have, first let's see what values do we have in region. So we have Europe, North America and Pacific. So here also we have simply used the cluster chart here, and here what we are going to do, homeowner and purchase by, this is region wise, right? Or simply region and purchase by. So now here we can see in case of Pacific region we have, I mean the number is less but ratio of people who are buying bike is more. But in case of North American region, the value is more, but the ratio of people not buying a bike is more here. So this way you will be able to see which regions will you prefer more for your target audience perspective. And now you can reposition your image anywhere. So this is our simple bike bias exploratory data analysis dashboard. If you want, you can use some filters, but in most of the cases, these charts are interactive, so they can also be used as filters. Let's say you want to see everywhere where purchase bike is yes. So just see, and now you will be seeing your target areas, right? And for purchase bike, no, you can see. If you want to use purchase bike as a filter, for example, we want to see the analysis or other features as a filter. So this slicer here is mostly used as a filter, and you can position your slicer anywhere. So for example, we will simply position the slicer here. In slicer, we can bring any field. Okay. For example, I'm just showing you, for example, occupation as a field. Just giving you an example here. You go to format visual setting, slicer setting, and make it a drop down list. Okay. When you will create it in drop down list, obviously you have to adjust the height and width here. Now when you will click on it, let's say you want manual or professional, you want to see for all professional people, right? So in case of professional people, you can see the purchase bike ratio is yes, which is more. You can see most of them are middle age. Bias by car, you can see in case of zero, their value is more, and so on. Like income wise purchase behavior, also you can see whether their income is on higher side or lower side. Similarly, let's say skilled manual, you can see the income. Clerical, you can see in case of clerical income is between 0 to 40K. In case of management, it goes from up to 0.2 million. Also, you can see some outliers there. So you can see on the basis of these different type of values, and this is our simple example here. And obviously, when you are selecting this, you can always go to values, choose some kind of background color here. A very light theme background color will be good. Font color you can make bold. You also have slicer header which you can make bold, right? And you can select the font color as per your choice. So this is something that you can do. Obviously here you have space, you can bring more filters here. So this is a simple bike buyers exploratory data analysis dashboard. As is now we have this, so we can simply align it to left hand side, and so that we have space for bringing more slicers. So let's say we bring another slicer here, and in this case instead of occupation we will simply choose education also, right? You can choose anything here. So like bachelor, professional, then we will be able to see this is like a and clause, right? So select star from your table where occupation is professional and education is bachelor. So this is something that you can see. If you want to see for both bachelor and graduate, you can press command or control and select both of them. So now this is like select star from data where occupation is professional and education in bachelor comma graduate degree. So this way you can simply use them and you can clear your selection from here. I hope you like this simple dashboard, simple exploratory data analysis focusing on giving us insights on what type of variables here have effect on bike purchasing behavior of the customer. So if you like this, please subscribe to our channel because we post simple type of dashboards every day along with advanced DAX queries etc., which we have posted yesterday. So please check out that section also and please subscribe. And if you have any questions or suggestions about any type of dashboard, you can comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.